After statement of affairs problem, next topic we will discuss as an liquidator's remuneration and preparation of liquidator's final statement of account. Okay, first write down the liquidator's remuneration. Liquidators remuneration. First, who is liquidator? Liquidator is any company wants to close their accounts, then that time the company appointed as an outside person, that person is known as an liquidator. After appointing the liquidator collects all the detailed information regarding to the company. After that, the liquidator has to first sell the assets. After selling that amount, whatever the amount is there, under that only the liquidator has to pay all the debts. Remaining amount is there, that is an surplus or deficit of that members. So he is an liquidator. For that selling of that company, for that instead of that, the company wants to pay some remuneration to the liquidator. Depending upon that company, whatever they wish, how much they want to pay a remuneration to this liquidator. So it is one type of a commission. So first write down the meaning of this liquidator's remuneration. The liquidator normally gets the remuneration in the form of commission which is usually based as a percentage on the value of assets and amount paid to unsecured creditors. So in calculating this liquidator's remuneration, the following points may be noted. That first is commission on assets given as security to secured creditors. Whenever we have to pay some amount to the secured creditors, instead of giving the amount, we keep one asset as a security. For example, we have to take a loan from the bank. Okay, instead of paying that bank loan, in that with the bank we have to keep some security in the form of any buildings, land, whatever the security papers, bonds, like that. Okay, so first is commission on assets given as a securities to the secured creditors. Under that, the liquidator gets commission on the surplus from such assets left after making the payment of secured creditors, because he makes an effort of realizing the surplus of such assets from secured creditors. However, if he sells the assets himself, he gets commission on the total proceeds of such assets. Suppose we'll take loan from the bank rupees 2 lakhs. Okay, with the bank we keep as a security as land and buildings. So this land and buildings book value is 3 lakhs. Okay, after appointing the liquidator has to sold this asset at the rate of rupees is 5 lakhs. Okay, so this 5 lakhs is a realizable value. Okay, this 5 lakhs is a realizable value. Suppose the liquidator has to sold this asset. Whenever he sold, the bank has to keep this amount and remaining will be given to the liquidator. How much is the building's estimated realizable value? 5 lakhs minus bank overdraft amount is 2 lakhs. How much is remaining is 3 lakhs. This 3 lakhs is surplus na? Okay, I will explain in Telugu also. మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, బ్యాంక్ దగ్గర లోన్ తీసుకున్నాం. మనకు ఊకనే ఇస్తాడా బ్యాంక్ వాడు? ఏదైనా సెక్యూరిటీ పెడితేనే మనకు బ్యాంక్ వాళ్ళు లోన్ ఇస్తారు. మనం ఏం సెక్యూరిటీ పెట్టినాం? బ్యాంక్ దగ్గర ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్ నుంచి పోయి సెక్యూరిటీగా పెట్టినాం. మనం కంపెనీని క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాం. క్లోజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏం చేసినాం? మనం ఈ అమౌంట్ కట్టకుండా ఏం చేసినాము? ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్ సెక్యూరిటీగా పెట్టినాం కదా. బ్యాంక్ వాడు ఏం చేసిండు? ఓకే, బ్యాంక్ వాడు ఏమంటుండు, ఈ ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్స్ సేల్ చేసినాక అందులోకి వెళ్ళి అమౌంట్ నాకు కట్టేసి మిగతాది మీరు తీసుకెళ్ళిపోండి అని చెప్తాడు. అయితే లిక్విడేటర్ ఏం చేసిండు, ఈ ల్యాండ్ అండ్ బిల్డింగ్ అసెట్ సేల్ చేస్తే 5 lakhs వచ్చింది కదా, ఈ 5 lakhsలోకి వెళ్ళి 2 lakhsకి బ్యాంక్కి కట్టేసేసాడు. ఇంకా మిగతా ఎంత ఉంటుంది? 3 lakhs ఉంటుంది. 3 lakhs ఏంటిది? మనకి సర్ప్లసే కదా. ఈ వచ్చిన సర్ప్లస్లోకి వెళ్ళి లిక్విడేటర్కి కమిషన్ వస్తుంది. గాట్ ఇట్? లిక్విడేటర్కి రెమ్యునరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది? ఏదైనా అసెట్ సేల్ చేసినాక అది సెక్యూర్డ్ క్రెడిటార్కి పే చేసినాక ఎప్పుడైతే మిగిలింది ఉంటుందో అప్పుడే రెమ్యునరేషన్ వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే రాదు. మనం అన్సెక్యూర్డ్ క్రెడిటార్స్కి పే చేసాము, డిబెంచర్ హోల్డర్స్కి పే చేసాము, అట్లా కదా. అట్లా కాకుండా మనం ఎప్పుడైతే సమ్ ఆఫ్ అమౌంట్ ఉంటుందో అది ఏదైతే సెక్యూర్డ్ క్రెడిటార్స్కి పే చేసేది మాత్రమే పే చేసినాక రిమైనింగ్ అమౌంట్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో అది మనకి సర్ప్లస్. ఈ సర్ప్లస్లో నుంచే లిక్విడేటర్కి సమ్ పర్సంటేజ్ ఆఫ్ రెమ్యునరేషన్ వస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇందులో రెమ్యునరేషన్కి ఒక 5% రెమ్యునరేషన్ అనుకుందాం. సో హౌ మచ్ అమౌంట్ విల్ బి గెట్టింగ్ టు ది లిక్విడేటర్ ఈస్ 3 lakhs into 5/100. How much? 5/100 is 15,000. How much liquidator's remuneration is? 15,000. Like this you have to calculate. Okay. The next is cash and bank balance. Okay, if the liquidator is to get a commission, if the liquidator is to get a commission on assets realized, he also gets a commission on bank and commission on cash and bank balance unless otherwise stated. One is in the form of an remuneration by selling the asset and is secured as an security creditor. Second commission is getting on the cash and bank balance. Okay, so this cash and bank balance, how to getting? The liquidator is also gets the remuneration in the form of an commission on bank cash, commission on cash and bank balance. Next is unsecured creditors. Now see the one point, remember that point. In the unsecured creditors, if the liquidator is to get a commission and amount paid to unsecured creditors. Okay, first we want to pay unsecured creditors. Now after that we have to pay to the amount to the unsecured creditors. The unsecured creditors are also includes the preferential creditors, and that is unsecured creditors. Unsecured creditors includes the preferential creditors for the purpose of calculation of remuneration. Calculation of remuneration, unless otherwise stated, if the amount available is sufficient to make the full of unsecured creditors, the commission is calculated as unsecured creditors. Okay, so now see how to calculate this. If the amount is available is sufficient to make the full payment of the unsecured creditors. Now see the formula is amount due to unsecured creditors amount due to unsecured creditors into percentage of commission on creditors, percentage of commission on creditors divided by 100. Amount due to unsecured creditors into percentage of commission on creditors divided by 100. Suppose if the amount available is not sufficient to make the full payment of unsecured creditors, the commission will be calculated as this formula is sufficient amount is available for payment to the unsecured creditors. Sufficient amount is there to payment to unsecured creditors. Unsecured creditors means without security. Okay, unsecured creditors. Suppose sufficient amount is not available, then how to calculate is sufficient amount is not available to make the full payment of unsecured creditors. formula is amount available for unsecured creditors into percentage of commission divided by 100 plus percentage of commission. Okay. Now I will say one example is if the amount due to unsecured creditors is 5 lakhs and the amount available for unsecured creditors before charging commission and amount paid to unsecured creditors is 2,06,000. Suppose 3% commission is to be paid on the amount paid to unsecured creditors. Due amount for unsecured creditors is 5 lakhs. Available amount is 2,06,000. Okay, how much we pay to unsecured creditors actually is 5 lakhs, but we have only 2,06,000. Is it sufficient or not? No, sufficient amount is not available. Then that case we use this formula. What is the formula is amount available for unsecured creditors into percentage of commission. How much percentage commission paid to unsecured creditors is 3%. Okay, instead of percentage of commission we have to write 3 and divided by 100 plus percentage of commission is amount available for unsecured creditors. How much amount available is 2,06,000 into percentage of commission. How much percentage? 3% is 3 by 100 divided by 100 plus percentage of 3% means 3 by 100. 100 cancel. Next is 2,06,000 into 3 divided by 100 plus 3. 100 plus 3 is 103. Next 2,06,000 into 3 is 6,18,000 divided by 103. How much is getting? Is 6,000. Okay, this is a calculation. And next, see, very important is preparation of liquidator's final statement of account. Okay, it is just working notes while preparing the liquidator's final statement of account. In this method, each and every problem we have to calculate this liquidator's remuneration. In the before method is what? Statement of affairs. Under that method, just we have to write the how much assets available amount. Under that, we have to pay all the debts to the outside members or equity shareholders and preference shareholders. After that, how much amount is remaining, that amount is an surplus, otherwise it is an deficient. That is one method. And preparation of liquidators final statement of account is second method. Now next is preparation of liquidators final statement of account. Preparation of liquidators final statements of final statement of account. Is the main duty of the liquidator is what? Whenever the company appointed as a liquidator, first of all the liquidator has to collect the detailed information from the company. After collecting the information, next step is what? The liquidator has to collect all the assets. After that, selling of all the assets, next step is he has to pay all the debts to the creditors. Okay. The main duty of the liquidator is to collect the assets of the company and realize them and distribute the amount realized among the right claimants. So for this purpose, liquidator prepares a statement of account. Okay. For that, all these asset selling, payments of debts, any claims are there. For that purpose, the liquidators prepares a statement of accounts. That account is called as a final statement of account. So it shows how much amount he realized. Okay, it shows how much amount realized and how the amount was distributed. Realized means how the assets are sold. After that, how to distribute that amount. Distribution means non-distribution. It has to pay all the debts. Okay, how the amount was distributed. He submits it to the court in case of compulsory winding up and to the company in case of voluntary winding up. The liquidator is also required to prepare an account of winding up known as a liquidator's final statement of account after the affairs of the company are fully wound up. So when we prepare the final statement of account is after completing the statement of affairs, we will prepare the liquidator's final statements of account. So this account takes the form of cash account. Okay, this account is like what? The form of a cash account. How it will be their cash account? On the debit side is receipts and credit side is payments. Now see, the following are the receipts are shown on the debits. First see the pro forma. Write down. Okay, this liquidator's final statement of account in the form of a cash account. On the debit side is receipts, not any particulars. Debit side is receipts, amount, and credit side is payments, amount. Okay, receipts, amount, payments, amount. First coming to the debit side, that is receipt side. First is cash in hand, cash in hand. Next is any assets realized. Under that assets realized, I'll write for examples. Under that assets realized, this is just example only. In the problem, any assets are realized, you have to take that all the assets. Okay, for example is land and buildings. Next, plant and machinery. Next is furniture. Furniture, any stock. Do all the totals and write down here. Next is any surplus from securities. Surplus from securities. Next is calls in arrears realized. Calls in arrears realized. Next is calls on contributor is realized. Okay, this is all the debit side is receipt side. Next, coming to the credit side, first we have to calculate the liquidator's remuneration. In the problem, how much percentage is given, we have to calculate that percentage. First is liquidator's remuneration. This is the main heading. Under that, three categories will be there. First one is fixed amount, if any. I will explain detail while doing the problem. First, write down this pro forma and remember that what items will come under the receipt side and payment side. Fixed amount, if any. Next, second one is percentage on amount realized from asset. Next is percentage on amount distributed to creditors. Next is creditors. Okay, under that, one distributed to creditors is one member is creditors and second member is shareholders. Do the totals and put that amount in outer column. The next is debenture holders. For the debenture holders, the company definitely pays some interest amount to the debentures now. So that's why two amounts. One is debentures and second one is interest. Outstanding interest. Outstanding means yet to be paid in the future. Is interest will be paid in the future only now. So outstanding interest. So do the totals and write it outer column. Next is preferential creditors. Preferential creditors. That preferential creditors, write that amount. Next is unsecured creditors. How much amount is there? Unsecured creditors, right here. Next is preferential shareholders. Preferential shareholders. that one is capital amount, preferential capital, and dividend. For whom we have to pay dividend? First is preferential shareholder. Why? Because preferential shareholders are outside person. Any is getting profits of that company. Under that, first we have to pay dividend to the preferential shareholders. Okay, so that is an arrears of dividends. At the last, it will be payment to the equity shareholders. Last is equity. Equity shareholders. This is a pro forma. I'll explain deeply while doing the problem. Okay, under this what we have to find out is, first we have to do the calculation of liquidators remuneration, and next at the end we have to find out the unsecured creditors. Sometimes in the problem share price is not given. At that time we have to find out the share price. Suppose whenever we have to do the problems in accounts, actually share price is at a par value of rupees 10 rupees. Now sometimes shareholders have to fully paid. Fully paid means at the rupees 10 the shareholder have to pay totally 10 rupees, or sometimes partly paid up. Instead of paying 10 rupees, they pay only 7 rupees. At that time, we have to find out the correct share price. So, this is our class today. From next class, we will do the problem. The problem is relating to the liquidators final statement of accounts.